It is 6 p.m. I am Mayor Robinson, and I am calling this meeting to order. We're good now? Okay. Calling this meeting to order, I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of my city, our city of Lake City, South Carolina. The invocation will be led by Councilwoman Scott, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilman Askins. Please stand.
Let us pray. Dear God, we thank you, dear God, for your grace and your mercy. We thank you, dear God, for letting us be able to come together for another day, another month. We thank you, dear God, for the citizen of this great city, Lake City, not only for this city, for all surrounding area. We pray to Heavenly Father, you will bless us as we begin this meeting, that you will give us word and understanding and love for one another. Thank you, dear God, for letting us be here one more time. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Madam Clerk, can you please poll city council members?
Mayor Yamika Robinson,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Nicole Singletary,
Present.
Councilmember Wilhelmina Scott,
Present.
Councilmember William Askins,
Present.
Councilmember Jawanica Cooper,
Present.
Councilmember Sandra Jane Crosby,
Present.
Councilmember Jason Brown. Mayor Robinson, I find there to be one.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I need a motion to adopt the agenda as printed.
Move to adopt.
Second. It has been properly moved in second. Any questions? If no questions, all in favor, show of hands. I need a motion to approve the minutes, approval of minutes for May 9th to correct attendance to include Councilmember Crosby in attendance, and approval of the July 11th meeting minutes, mayor and council meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Okay. Next, we have included on our agenda introductions. During this part, we would like to just have a moment to each department, different departments to introduce themselves. And this meeting, we have on the agenda, 3 officers from our police department. Do we have those 3 officers here? Cody Parker, Caleb Floyd, Mike Graham.
Mayor, 2 of them are in class. Sorry.
I think you got the rest of them two stand out in the lobby. Let me get it.
And this is a part that we wanted to include and add to our agenda each month. It's just a way to strengthen the relationship between the department and the community and the council members. We would get different departments to come in and just introduce themselves so you will know who they are and they'll know who you are.
Apologies, Mayor, they had to respond to a call.
Okay. That's fair enough. They're doing their job. Thank you, William. Next, we have presentations. The only presentation we have tonight is a proclamation, a clean energy presented by yours truly, Mayor Robinson, and I'm going to ask Reverend Leo Woodbury and Ms. Christine Anderson to come up front as well while I make this proclamation. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Can you hear me okay? Good? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead with the proclamation, and then I'm allow Reverend Leo Woodbury to speak. Proclamation, whereas the city of Lake City, South Carolina recognized the urgent need to address the challenges posed by climate change, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and promote sustainable development for the benefit of present and future generations. And whereas Lake City values the health and well-being of its residents, the preservation of its natural resources, and the prosperity of its local economy. And whereas renewable energy and clean transportation are essential components of a sustainable and resilient city, contributing to the reduction of pollution, the conservation of resources, and the mitigation of climate change impacts. And whereas Lake City is blessed with abundant natural resources and possesses the potential to harness renewable energy sources, such as solar, wind, and in an economical, viable, and environmental responsible manner. And whereas Lake City acknowledges the importance of transitioning to a clean transportation system that prioritizes the use of electric vehicles, promotes public transportation, and encourages active modes of transportation such as cycling and walking. And whereas the citizens of Lake City have demonstrated a strong commitment to sustainability, embracing energy efficient practices, advocating for renewable energy, and fostering a culture of environmental stewardship. Now, therefore, I, Yamika Robinson, Mayor of the City of Lake City, do hereby proclaim that the City of Lake City, South Carolina, is a renewable energy efficient and clean transportation city. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 8th day of August 2023. Yamika Robinson, Mayor of the City of Lake City. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for this privilege and our opportunity to come before you. We know that our world is changing, and we know that our world is moving forward in new directions. And so I'm very happy as Executive Director of New Alpha Community Development Corporation, headquartered in Florence, South Carolina, but we work throughout the South and the nation. So I'm very pleased to have Lake City, our sister city, sign a proclamation such as one that has been signed by over 100 cities in this country, and that lets the world know that Lake City is ready to have new opportunities like the electric vehicle battery plant that is coming to Florence. This is the future. There's going to be other opportunities. There's going to be distribution centers. There's going to be supply centers. There's going to be there'll be 4 battery manufacturing plants and 3 recycling battery plants in South Carolina, with another 13 supportive facilities. We believe that the stronger and the more prosperous the PD is, the better life is for all of us. So I congratulate you, Mayor Robinson. I congratulate you, City Council, for taking a step forward. And anything that we can do, we actually are a subcommittee for the South Carolina regulatory staff. We help to write the EV plan for the state. We're part of the Environmental Justice Hub with South Carolina DHEC. And so anything that we can do, any opportunity that we find for funding, et cetera, for Lake City, please do not hesitate to partner with us. And so I just want to close by saying this: God bless this city. And because of this step forward, not just for this generation, but generations to come, I wish that everyone in the audience will give this mayor and this council a hand. Thank you very much.
I may, I can back up and go to our introductions. I do see Mr. Caleb Floyd. You want to just step up and just introduce yourselves to the community, mayor, and council. Let's give him a hand.
Thank y'all for having me. My name is Caleb Floyd. I am a sergeant on patrol here at Lake City, and I appreciate y'all for having me. I've been with Lake City on and off for about 6.5 years now. I've worked in Lake City since I was 16, so this is home. And again, thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you and everything that you do every day. Thank you. Now we'll move forward to our public comment period. Oh, sorry.
We have one more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I do apologize.
Might as well do him while he's here, so.
Yeah, I apologize.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Dante Locklear. I'm a police officer here with Lake City. This will be my second time coming here. I was here last year. Some things come up, so I had left, but I'm here back home. Chief gave me another chance to come back home. So I appreciate everything you all have done. Appreciate you, Mayor, and I appreciate you, Chief, and William Hall, and for all you've done for us at the police department. And I hope to be here for a good little while. So thank you all.
Thank you. As we can tell, our officers call Lake City home. They both use that word home. We are a family, and I just wanted them to introduce themselves to you all and mayor and council, so we can strengthen our relationship between the police department, law enforcement, and community, because that's what we are about, making sure that our communities are safe. Thank you again. Now we will move to public comment period. Notes on comment period. Comments are limited to 2 minutes. And I must repeat, 2 minutes per person. And no personal or verbal attacks will be entertained. The council is interested in hearing your concerns, but speakers should not expect council action or deliberation on subject matters brought up during the public comment period. Topics requiring further investigation will be referred to the city administration and may be scheduled for a future agenda. Our door is always open, so please don't hesitate to call or come by. Please make sure to sign in and leave your name and address for the record with the city clerk to council.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I asked my council person, and she could not answer me, so I am before you once again, and I did not receive any answers to the prior questions that I asked. Add these to the list. 1, what is the guidelines for applying for a board position? Do nepotism play a part? Do council members play a part? 2, a copy of the $3 million that was federal government gave to the city stating how this money was spent. I asked this question back in 2022. You said you received the funds in a certain amount of money, but I never got an answer. Don't know how that $3 million was spent. I'm requesting copies of how that money was spent. How much did we receive from the penny tax? And I want to know how that money was spent. William and Marcia served their high personnel. I voted for some of you sitting up there, and I expect an answer from the people I voted for, okay? I don't know what they do this with the city. I'm talking about what I expect from people that I voted for, okay? I don't know about the administration, but if it was the administration, nobody answered me. Now, I think Coins for Care need to be explained to the citizens again, because that's citizens helping other citizens. Lake City do not give them a dime. I get my bill estimated, and I give them money. They're under the impression that Lake City is offering them some money. They don't give them a dime. This is a citizen helping other citizens. You collect the money, you give it over to PD. They think that my bill went up, I'm just gonna come and get some money to pay it. So I think That need to be explained to them again, but I want them to understand that citizens helping other citizens because they get their bill estimated, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Right on time. Any more public comments? Okay. Oh, go ahead.
My name is Steve Altman. I live outside of Lake City. I have some properties here in Lake City, and I just found out, due to my ignorance, that y'all's meeting had moved to 6. I've been with another 7 o'clock meeting for years and have not been coming, and I appreciate the opportunity to come at 6. I own some properties here in town, and I'm not gonna go into everything here, but I just like to present it to, for somebody to write it down, somebody to get in touch with me. One of which is, Singletary Avenue. The problem I see, there are several, but the main problem is a lot of people come off of Thomas and other streets, et cetera, and go down Singletary to avoid the red light. And there are children on this street, there are elderly on this street, and I was promised years ago to have one of the signs that tells how fast you're going. It's still not there. And there's other things, but anyway, the other street is McElveen Avenue. McElveen Avenue is off of Moore. It took, now I may be over exaggerating, but 3 years to get the potholes fixed on McElveen Avenue. The main problem that I see, and part of that it created the potholes, is McElveen Avenue is connected to Moore Street and to the street that runs into Ray. Well, the street that runs into Ray, and I apologize for not knowing the name of it, it runs by the convenience store, Washrette, and it is a dead-end street. Why it runs into McElveen Avenue, I don't know if it's a dead-end street. But the point I'm making is people come off of Ray, come down that street, come through McElveen Avenue, they don't live on that street nor Ray. And if somebody will get in touch with me, I'll talk to you about that. Also, real quickly.
Mr. Altman, I'm sorry, but we did have just 2 minutes.
Okay,
But
thank you.
But we will get in touch, okay? Thank you. Yes, the same for you, Miss Maddie, thank you. More, yes. Anyone else?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Edmund Cockfield. I live 337 Graham Road, in conjunction with Blanding, East Palm, West Palm Circle. I didn't write it down. She was awesome. I didn't write it down as well you did, however. But I've got 2 minutes. So, my thing is, I know that we've just put this park over here. I've been here several times before you were mayor, and like she said, I voted for some of you guys that's here up here on the roster. And I can understand us bringing the park to my community, and I love it. But therefore, since that park has come there, we've had shootings in this community, and I think that we should be more proactive rather than be reactive, helping the police force. I mean, I see cars pass by my house. There are buses coming up this highway. There's a school here. Speed limit is 25 miles per hour. I see cars come through at 90 miles per hour, 6 o'clock in the morning. Kids are standing inside the highway. I've been here several times, and I've asked this. My wife said, "Are you going back down there?" I said, "Baby, I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock. I was almost late. I was trying to get here. But I say that to say this. Our children are our future. So if we don't look out for them, we can put a park out there and let them have fun all day long. But once they go, I've got them come through my yard. They walk through my yard. They walk through my neighbor's yard. And I speak for all of my community because right now I'm afraid that something is going to happen to one of these children because nobody was there to protect them. And that's what we're there to do, protect and serve, right? So, I see us up and down 52. Last night, matter of fact, there was a storm. The lights went out there. I saw the policeman. I was at Burger King. I watched him.
Cars just kept going up and down 52, up and down 52. The cops never paid. They sat over there. They just sat there. They did nothing. When a light go out, and Chief, if I'm wrong, when a light go out, I think you're supposed to treat it as a four-way crossing. That's my time. I know that's my time, but please, if you will, my councilwoman, and everybody, please, just think about the children. I see we do all these book bag things. I'm moving now. I see we do all these book bag things and stuff, but I am so concerned about where this park is, and there is no, I'm moving. I see y'all moving. I am moving. I am moving. I am moving. I am moving. Thank you for your time. Okay, thank you. I am moving. I am moving.
I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but when we have set for 2 minutes for public comment period, because we have to keep the meeting running. This is a meeting of city business, and we definitely want to hear from our public. But we do give you 2 minutes to speak on your concern or issues or ideas, and we would definitely, your council person or myself, mayor, or staff administration that is wealth of knowledge of all that's going on, will definitely get back in touch with you. And I do appreciate your concerns and bringing it forward. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you for your comments. Next, we'll go to legislative.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor, and Council. I bring for your approval, Resolution 2023.028, final reading. A resolution seeking approval to purchase property from Mamie J. Everly. Property also identified as Florence County Tax Map Number 80028-03023, also known as the Breezeway for the City of Lake City, and all matters related thereto.
Need a motion to approve Resolution 2023.028 for final reading.
Motion to approve.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions?
Yes. I noticed in looking at the documents on this property, it has to be determined by every area by the address. Does it not have a current address there?
It is an alleyway. It's identified by the tax map partial number. As far as I know, I've been told it does not have a physical address. It's in between two buildings.
Okay. And then in further inspection, looks like there's a name on here, summary of salient features, has the borrower as Travis Jones.
Previous owners. It's actually owned by Everly. Yeah, so Charlie Ipock has done all the research on this property.
But in here it says borrower Travis Jones, and that's, I believe, her son, because her middle name is Jones. And
I've spoken to her son, but I'm not sure exactly what you're looking at, but I'm happy.
if you look at page 53 in the packet, and I've seen that noted a couple of times. You know, I guess for legal purposes, I bring your attention to that, because I don't know if we could get into legalities as a result of this, one name being the owner and the other has another name.
No, ma'am, so that's just the appraisal, and that was the point of contact for the appraiser.
Okay, but it says here, borrower and the lender as client.
That's right, that's just who he was talking to. I can't speak for him, but there's no borrowing, we're the purchaser. So we certainly aren't borrowing anything. But that's who I spoke to, I know, maybe 2 years ago when we first engaged with her.
But that, to me, that could be very conflicting, could get into, if it was pushed at any point. I think we could get into some trouble as a result of that.
That's just
And I also see the supervisory appraiser certification. Ken O. Flower Jr., that's page 58. And I have concerns about those names being different, because what it says here in writing and what you're saying is kind of confusing to me.
Are you, a quick question, are you saying because it's saying purchase property from Mamie L. Everly and the other person is Travis?
Mhm.
And so that, could that be a conflict with that?
No, ma'am, this,
No.
actually, Attorney Alcock states, that was just where they listed the point of contact.
Contact.
Not necessarily being a borrower, but since this is appraisal, usually when they do appraisal, there's a purchase involved.
But see, it says here, clearly here, by his name, says, borrower. Says client in the blue, as the borrower and the lender / client, Travis Jones in both places.
Just because that's the way they list the individuals for the purpose of doing the appraisal. They're not necessarily a borrower, not necessarily a lender. But that's how they identify their client for this particular task.
I'm not clear on that. I think there could possibly be some repercussions.
As y'all's
Attorney.
legal counsel, I can advise that that won't be any problem. I can't speak for the appraiser, but we have an agreement with the seller. That's the document that, of course, would control the sale. We have done preliminary title work, that Mrs. Everly is the owner. And if for some reason she's not, then of course, I've got adequate protections for the city in place where we can back out of the agreement. But what the appraiser says, that's simply an appraisal that the parties worked off of in getting the purchase done.
And Charlie, correct me if I'm wrong, the son is also a realtor broker, correct?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
But with all your research, Mr. Ipoc, with all your research, and you said for the past 2 years that you've done this, that Ms. Everly is the property owner.
That's what our title work's already shown, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Just so Mayor and Council is aware, we have paid the rent on this property every month for the past 10 years. She's actually gone up on the rent to $250 a month, and she wants us to commit to another 10-year contract for renting this property, which in return we would have already paid for it. The asking price was $20,000 was her appraisal. Ours came in at $14,000, but the Dollar Moore Foundation has agreed to pay $5,000 toward the purchase because her appraisal included the beautification of the alleyway.
Now, you said you paid $250 a month for 10 years and you're paying.
They're asking for $250 for the next 10 years.
Okay,
per
and
month.
so you're saying the property has been paid for?
If we would have paid for the property by paying the rent, unless we go ahead and buy it now, and then we resolve the whole rent issue, because the city will then
Okay,
now
I
own the property.
misunderstood you to say that it was paid for, that you have already paid for the property, because that was a rental agreement, not a rental to purchase.
There's no rental to purchase, it's
And I
just
know
a point
what
of
I'm
rent.
saying, but, what you said was kind of, ambiguous to me. And if she charged rent, it's different than rent and having a mortgage or no loan.
What you were saying, were you saying that if you would've kept paying the rent, then it would've been the same price as what it is now?
We would eventually pay for the property. So if we pay her $20,000 now, we own the property outright.
She should have kept the property.
But if we don't continue with the rent, and if we don't buy it, she wants everything removed, and she'll close up the alleyway.
That means the alleyway will not be able to be used by citizens or anyone. It would just be closed.
Is this in an agreement in here anywhere?
Agreement
Is this
for
what she said, that she would close it up
Correct.
if it's not being used?
Yes.
Yes, not us.
She
It's
would.
by her statements. Yes.
So, if that were the case, if that happens to be the case, then what? If she didn't sell it and closed it, how would that impact?
There would be no pathway from the parking lot behind all the stores on Main Street onto Main Street. Unless they go all the way down to Church Street and can walk back up.
Do y'all know where that breezeway is?
Yes.
Anybody that grew up in Lake City, I believe that used to be the old Ken Wynn store back in the day. You remember the store Ken Wynn?
Oh, the skinny store.
I went to the jewelry store.
For my son.
Oh, wait for the time. But people here will know, I know Madam will remember, she's not saying anything.
Do we have any more questions on this resolution before we move forward? No other questions? Okay, all in favor, show of hands.
All opposed?
Oh, I'm sorry, all opposed, sorry. I'm
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Mayor and Council, for your consideration, resolution number 2023.029, final reading. A resolution is being brought to the Mayor and Council to seek approval to enter into an agreement with Florence County. The county may conduct building code administration and enforcement duties in accordance with the state law, chapter 1 of the adopted building codes of South Carolina for the property owned, operated, and serviced by the county, specifically located at 318 Charles Street, Lake City, South Carolina, as it reflects to the tax map 80015-02016 and identified as Lions Park Multipurpose Hall and all matters related thereto.
Need a motion to approve resolution 2023.029 for final reading.
Motion to approve?
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions? William, can you explain a little bit about this resolution so everyone will understand before we go into voting?
As everyone is aware, Lions Park is no longer owned by the city of Lake City. It was turned over as an agreement to Florence County. They're in the middle of erecting a building, a recreation community hall. They've asked us to step aside in the code enforcement part and allow the county to do their own code enforcement. After consideration and discussion with our code enforcement department, Chief Triggers, we've agreed to relinquish that duty only to them for that one property.
Okay, was there supposed to be an amphitheater there or something like that?
I'm not sure what their entire plans are, but I did hear something down the line that may be coming at a later date.
At this moment, the resolution states that it identifies as Lions Park Multipurpose Hall.
Correct.
Any other questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. That's it. Okay.
Mayor and Council, for your consideration, resolution 2023.030, final reading. A resolution establishing acceptance of the funds in the amount of $100,000 from the USDA Rural Development Community Facilities Grant, $50,000 for the knuckle boom, and $50,000 for the street sweeper, and all matters related thereto.
Need a motion to approve resolution 2023.030 for final reading.
Motion to approve?
It's been properly moved in second. Any questions?
Yeah, it's kind of a silly question. What is a knuckle boom?
That's the grapple hook that picks the garbage up, the tree limbs up off the side of the road and puts them into,
Oh, like,
that's the official name of it.
it's like the ones that do little toy boxes, you know?
Correct,
fix-
yes.
Yeah.
That's what the federal government considers, that's how it's listed in their records.
Big toy box.
There you
Yeah.
go. Or a grapple hook,
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
a cherry picker, there you go.
Okay, that's what,
Yeah, cherry picker.
Okay, you said, a resolution acceptance of funds in the amount of $100,000 from USDA. Are these federal money?
I'm sorry?
Are these federal funds?
Yeah, we paid for the product and we applied for a reimbursement of up to $50,000 and we've been awarded the money.
Okay.
USDA federal funds.
Okay.
Anytime that we have the option of buying products, then we can go back to the federal and get some money reimbursed. Since we are a community of low income and a small community, we're eligible for these type of grants.
Okay, so it's a grant, that's what I want to be sure.
A reimbursement grant,
Okay.
yes. But we have, the match is what we We paid, like, for example, the knuckle boom, I think was $125,000. Once we got the product here, we filled out the documentation, we applied to the federal government and said, we bought this for this purpose, and gave them all the details about our community, our income status, the population, the age group, and so forth and so on, and submitted the application, and it was approved. And now we have to do a resolution and submit back to the USDA that mayor and council agrees to accept the funds.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and council, for your consideration, resolution 2023.031, final reading. A resolution of the city of Lake City, South Carolina, seeking the establishment, a reserve account and approval to transfer monthly based on reports of the Water Sewer Department, $1.25 for the water account and $1.75 from the sewer account, to the reserve account based on the budget approved on 2023-2024 and all matters related thereto.
I need a motion to approve resolution 2023.031 for final reading.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions?
Could you explain that, William?
If mayor and council would allow me, I have an illustration here, to go along with this. It shows a comparison to what we billed in June. It shows a comparison to what we billed in July. An estimate of the difference between the two calculated out annually. And then we just did a rate, not to be greedy, of $1.25 and $1.75. So it would pretty much be equal for both to put in a reserve account for future emergencies, future growth, and future repairs.
So are you saying that the rate increase, is this the rate increase on the water bill?
This is part of the reason why we did the rate increase, so we can prepare for future. So we can help pay for repairs. I have a good example. Everybody remember the water line break on Kelly Street last week?
I just want you to explain it so they'll know.
Yeah, we have a $12,000 bill to pay for that. That was a one-day event, cost us $12,000 to fix it. But we did increase to help cover the aging infrastructure, to help cover future growth, to help cover anything that may go wrong in the water sewer, because we all know everything's old and underground. And also, we also agreed that we would put stuff up for the future. And this is like the reserve account for the future. It's the same principle that we do in the sanitation department. So when we need to do something, we don't have to pull it out the general fund. It's already setting aside.
Okay, monthly, will you, I mean, you said this will be done monthly.
Correct.
So with, for council, mayor and council, can you make sure that's a part of the agenda every month? As to what's collected?
Or you want to report on it?
Yes,
every
report,
month?
uh-huh.
We can supply you with the report in your package every
Yeah,
month.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, that would be no problem.
And you said this is strictly water and sewer infrastructure
On this one is specifically water and sewer,
Okay.
correct? Yes, ma'am.
only, nothing else?
But on this one is specifically water and sewer, just like we have one for the solid waste department.
Okay.
And it's based on the number of units we report every month.
Okay.
Any other questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Next, we go to city administrative reports.
Mayor and council, before I go into my report, I would like to introduce, I'm sure everybody knows Savon Whitehead. Savon Whitehead heads up our esports program. He has something he wishes to talk about, which is the Age Con, which is coming up next weekend. He's been working on it very diligently with our public information officer. I also want to bring to the floor Joseph McDonald. He's part of our media and PIO area. He's been working on this Age Con project as well. They have some Savon the opportunity to express his views on what we have coming to the city of Lake City and what he hopes to produce for the future for the city. Savon Whitehead and Joseph McDonald, you have the floor, please.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. First off, I would just like to thank everyone for coming out. It's always great to see our community coming out, voicing their concerns. I would also like to thank our council members because thanks to you guys, I have this job, so thank you. My goals, ever since moved here, has been to establish an esports scene here in Lake City. But after being here for a year now, I noticed that there's more that this city needs. And that goal has been giving the children an opportunity to discover new career paths. So spending the year here, being in the different schools, working with them, giving them opportunities. I've also learned that the city doesn't have a lot of opportunities that other cities have. So that inspiration came from that. And AgeCon, which stands for Anime Gaming and Entertainment, pretty much focuses on the anime and gaming culture with less emphasis on the esports side, because at the end of the day, not everybody is into the competitive scene. However, we shouldn't alienate anyone from the scene itself. So we've been working very hard with our PIO team, Mr. Hall, everyone in admin, getting everything taken care of and making sure that this is an event that is for our community, because Lake City should have something that represents them, or us for that matter. So my goal is to give Lake City something that is something they can be proud of and something that other areas will look at us and say, oh, Lake City, I've heard about that. So it's been a long process, but it's coming along quite well. We've made tremendous strides and goals, and the event is not even here yet. I've traveled to different states, and states from the north and states from the south are coming out to this event. We are working with the school districts to let these children come to the event, because at the end of the day, this is for the children. And so this convention is just universally going to be for everyone, hence the name AgeCon. So to everybody, I would greatly appreciate it. It would mean so much to me if you can make time to come out to the event August 18th to the 19th, which is a Friday, Saturday. Bring your children, because kids 12 and under get them for free, and that's what this whole thing is for. And with that being said, I'll let Joey have a quick little word here before you show off the thing. You got it.
Hello, Madam Mayor, City Council members. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be newest PAO, part of the team. Thank you for the opportunity. A little bit about me. Worked in city government before as a PAO, and worked in news, and I hope to bring all those experiences here. What you're about to see is going to be the intro video for AgeCon. So this is going to play during the opening ceremony. I hope you guys enjoy it. That's it.
Is this the first time you're showing this?
Yes, this is the very first time. Mr. Hall hasn't seen it either, so.
A treat for everyone.
I wanted to introduce you to what the City of Lake City has accomplished over the past 3 years. In 2021, we came up with an idea for esports, e-games, competition. It was a hot topic, and it was something that we were hoping we could get our youth involved in. I reached out to some companies in California and ended up being hooked up with Zeus from Wicked Reality, which is in North Carolina. And he came up with a game plan, came down and met with us and put forth and put together a program for our very first year. We had more people from out of state show up, and not one person from Lake City was there. We were very pleased with the outcome. So the very next year, we had Wicked Reality, Zeus come back again, and we did a second round. During that process of going to gaming competitions and conventions in Raleigh, North Carolina, I ran into Zeus. Zeus introduced me to Savon Whitehead. It opened my eyes up to a whole new industry.
But that was a very solid game. You guys did a great job that time.
I ended up hiring Savon Whitehead to head up our esports program. And today, we've gone from 2021 to esports, 2022 to esports, to now in August, we're doing a AgeCon at the Rob, and he has put forth so much effort to advertise and to get the community engaged in this. He's also started programs in the high school. He's doing summer camps, he's doing winter camps, and he's getting our youth involved. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of communication, and I'm very pleased with the progress we've made with this program. So come on out to the city of Lake City and experience AgeCon.
Oh, the logo is actually, we did a logo competition, and the winner was, his name is Philip Jeff Coate. He graduated from Francis Marion, and out of 20 submissions, he ended up winning. So that's his design, and we adjusted it and edited it a little bit so that it fits for the convention.
And that was actually submitted in a newspaper and Diversity Works magazine.
Yep.
Just this month.
Yep.
This past
And
month.
if I may add, that Francis Marion University used this AgeCon as a class in one of their semesters. And their students got graded on what they produced and they gave us their results at Francis Marion. We went and viewed their results. They will be at AgeCon on the 18th and 19th, and they will take that back and use it for this coming semester for an education tool. So I think it says a lot for what this group has accomplished for the city of Lake City.
So will Lake City be recognized at Francis Marion like that?
They have, yes, ma'am, they have already recognized that they taught based on what we were trying to do here for the AgeCon.
Okay, so they're gonna do a lot of public relations for us?
Yes, so essentially the whole class was target audience, and what their assignment is to target a certain audience that would be interested in coming to an event like this. And so that those results was what we're using to further push our convention to make sure we're hitting the right demographic, the right audience. And so thanks to that and them coming to the event, they're going to do that again for their upcoming semester, which again, those results that we get from them, we'll use it to improve our convention. So all this is pretty much based off of, with the help of Francis Marion. And additional to that, Francis Marion is starting their esports program thanks to, all this. I won't say me because.
Well, and-
I mean, yeah.
And I want to.
University down in Conway.
Oh, yes. Coastal Carolina is going to be attending as well, along with Columbia. So this whole, like I said, the whole convention is going to be generally focused around the whole entire scene. And we have 2 colleges that will be attending that will actually face off against one another in a friendly competition. And the purpose of it is to give the children a firsthand look at what a college level competition looks like, so that they can see it in real time and get that feeling of what it's like to be at an event. So we're very, very, very happy to have them
And
there.
I will say, at the bigger conventions, the colleges are there giving away scholarships for students to expand their education in these fields.
I've seen esports expand in colleges, different schools lately, and we actually had a call this afternoon or today from a school in Savannah, Georgia, that contacted me, and they were inspired about esports from right here from Lake City. So we're definitely putting Lake City on the map for a lot of different things.
I guess 6, 7 years almost, we're in schools in North Carolina.
I'm sorry.
I said esports were in schools in North Carolina?
Yeah.
6 or 7 years ago.
Yep. So esports definitely started out as a niche thing, and over the recent years, it has gotten a lot more popular. And even though COVID was overall a bad thing, it actually worked and helped our younger generation because they had nothing better to do than sit and play video games. And so parents looked at that and said, well, if you're going to sit here and play video games, you might as well do something beneficial with it. So then now you have these young children going into esports, making a career out of themselves, really pushing themselves, engaging with one another, getting them out of the houses and communicating with other children, which that is a big thing, especially within a child's development, growth development. Particular perfect example, actually, I call him my protege. His name is Torrance, and he goes to Ronald McNair Middle School, and he started coming to the after-school program that I ran there. And at first, he wasn't really about it, but when he saw everything that I was doing, he became way more engaged. He came out of his shell, and I started taking him to events with the approval of his mom. And his mom was very thankful that I was helping him out, really pushing him to realize his dreams and goals. And so the tournaments that I've entered him in, he has been doing significantly better. So watching him struggle in the first few and then he's gradually getting better has been very, very great. And even beyond him, some of the students that go to the summer camps, particular Sarah, she was very quiet, very shy, but then she took the step to actually try out for a esports team. Even though she didn't get into it, but it was that step that she made on her own. She built that confidence to do that. So these are just small things that can lead into such bigger things. And it makes me extremely happy because growing up, I didn't have these opportunities. So being able to give these children the opportunity is everything. So I'm very thankful. I'm very happy. I love what I do, even though it's a lot of work, but I love everything that I do. So just keep this in mind, guys, that esports is not just about playing video games. It's way more than that. There's careers, there's jobs, there's scholarships, there's so much more to just playing video games. And I'll pretty much leave off with this. During the summer esports camp, I got real with the children, and I let them know that at a certain point, when you get older, you're not going to be able to compete with the younger generation. It's just facts of life. And so the analogy I gave them was, think about a restaurant. When you're a server, you rely on tips, right? So if you don't make enough tips, you're going to struggle to pay your bills. However, if you're a dishwasher, a cook, manager, whatever the case may be, you have a steady income. Same thing applies to esports. Yeah, you can be a competitor, but if you don't place well, how are you going to pay your bills? But if you get into the streaming side, the marketing side, coaching side, so forth, what Joey does here, you have a stable income. So I told them it would behoove them to make sure they have a interest in the other aspects of esports. So as I said before, thank you guys so much. Thank you, council members. Thank you, Mr. Hall. I appreciate all of you guys, and I can hope to continue to keep making Lake City a wonderful community, and I do it one step at a time.
Okay, let me ask you, how, yeah, he does a population of children with behavioral health problems, how do you feel this, you can integrate this with them to help them with coping skills, even though, it could be very therapeutic. So how do you feel, have you been in thought to that, or?
So essentially, it's actually, so esports gaming in general, and actually I'm really glad that you say that because, I'm gonna butcher this. Extra Life is a organization where they do streams for children in the hospitals that suffer from cancer, illnesses, wherever the case may be. And those proceeds goes to the children to purchase games. And there have been numerous studies that show that kids who struggle with certain things, whether it be depression, mental illness, physical illness, whatever the case may be, it actually improves their well-being. And that's because they're engaged, they're focused, they're not just sitting there feeling miserable about their lives. Video games in general have a very positive take on both children and adults. A lot of times video games does get painted in a negative light, and not everything is perfect in any type of media. However, video games can really build a structure, a solid foundation, make new friends, new communities, new families, whatever the case may be. And it's something that I fight for every single day because of the fact that I grew up with it. Perfect example, I have a friend that lives in Texas that I met in an online match. Me and him are like brothers. I drove all the way to Texas to come visit him. And those online friendships are better than the ones that you meet with your neighbor right next door to you. So it's gaming as a whole really does have major benefits both on the children and on the adults as well. And yes, there can be some negative aspects, but that relies on the parents, because the parents need to be just as engaged and focused on what the child is playing. It works both ways. So, you know, me growing up, my mom kind of gave me a lot of freedom on what I could do. I had maturity though, so there was a lot of things that I just knew better on. But this generation, you know, it's really hard to kind of limit them to what they do. So it really falls on the parents to supervise and coach, instruct, guide their children to making the right choices. And just to be honest, video games does not cause violence. I will fight for that until the day I can't fight. So video games does not cause violence. That is not true. But with that being said.
I'd like to talk with you more, to see about possibly, incorporating this in with the Department of Mental Health.
I would love
Even though
to.
you go to the schools, but there is a segment, there's a population of children that are being served, that possibly these children could be grouped together. I don't know exactly how you do it, but I think that population would definitely,
I would love to.
benefit. Okay, you can get.
Thank you, Savon. And we also gave our kids an opportunity to challenge yours truly, the mayor, at a game of Tekken, believe it or not.
I do want to bring that, Savon is in junior high school. Once school's now started back, you will be going back to the junior high school after school. He literally packs the equipment up, takes it to the school, sets it up, and entertains and works with the children there. To the point that when he goes to the high school, they've actually taken one of the rooms and brought it up to internet speed and the capability of plugging these machines in properly. They spent about $10,000 doing that. So he can come back to the high school and properly introduce this to the high school kids after school. So he alternates the days he does this, and it's after hours, and he literally packs it up every time and unpacks it and puts it back up. So, Savon, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Lake City High, actually, Lake City High, J. Paul, and Rock McNair. This year, I'll be doing all three. The goal is to work with Hannah Publico because they started theirs, and Florence, who's already well established. And we are now working to get these kids in the actual league. So this year, I have very big plans. Hopefully, everything works out to actually have a official esport team for Lake City kids. So
All right.
That's my goal.
Thank you.
Bring your attention, this was one of the top three in the community meeting we had at the senior center, housing the community center and esports. So we pretty much are giving the community what they're asking for. Mayor and council, thank you for allowing us to have Savon present the HCON to you. We'll move further into the bills to be approved. Mayor and council, before you, page 73 of your package, I present to you bills 1 through 7 for your review and approval for the month of August 2023.
I need a motion to approve bills item 1 through 7.
Make a motion to approve bills items 1 through 7 for August 8th, 2023. Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any questions about bills?
This Civic Plus, I know this is through IT company. The communication platform, 3001, 81458, and then website hosting, same company, hosting and support. I understand what communication means, but what is that, website hosting?
Civic Plus is our webpage. All this has to do with our annual bill for our webpage with Civic Plus. And that's are the two line items we have set up on our budget to pay this. But all of it pertains to the webpage for the city of Lake City, South Carolina.
Is it the same amount every month?
This is the
It's
annual.
annual.
Annual,
Yeah,
okay,
this is our annual license with them.
okay, thank you.
So we want to see this again until next fiscal year. Any other questions about bills? If none, excuse me, all in favor, show of hands. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Mayor and Council, if I may, our financial statement for the first month of the year, July 2023, our general fund revenues are at 155.7, that's 1.53% of the budget. Our expenses for the general fund are 940,000, that's 9.24% of the budget. We overspent our revenue by 784,000. I will remind you that our tax dollars come in arrears. So basically, we haven't seen our July revenue to cover our expenses yet. On the water side, our revenues are at 23,207, 1.4% of the budget. The expenses are 114,928, that's 5% of the budget. Overspent the revenue by $91,700. The sewer fund, we had revenues of $357,791, 9.2% of the budget. We have expenses of $151,149, that's 3.8% of the budget. We have a surplus of $206,000. In the stormwater, we have revenues of $388,000. And no expenditures, so that's a typo. So we still have $388,000 in the bank. That's the financials.
You said, so it is 388,000?
388 revenue, no expenses.
No expenses.
388,000.
So that 388 should be on the bottom line. And that's all I have for you this evening. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
I'm sorry, I'm still asking the
The
question.
388 should be on the bottom.
But I'm
as
saying,
a
is it
surplus.
388,000?
300. Is it 388,000?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it shows on here $388.
Yeah, I got 2 zeros on
It's got 2 zeros. Let me check that. We'll send that back out to you tomorrow.
Okay, so do we need to, okay, that's fine, thank
We'll
you,
send it right back out tomorrow.
thank you.
Thank you,
It's
Mayor
fine,
and Council.
it's fine. Okay? About,
William,
Yes, ma'am.
the retention ponds,
Correct.
that's the retention ponds at CVS
Correct.
and Dollar
Dollar
General?
General, Dollar Tree.
Yeah, okay, they were cleaned out, I'm glad they were finally done, and thank you.
You're welcome.
But now, who did the work?
I can't answer that. They hired a contractor. Once CVS was approached and literally we sent them their fines, they will be paying the fines as well. But they hired the contractor through their organization. We had nothing to do with it once they agreed that they were in violation.
Okay, because they did some sloppy work at CVS. All the younger brush was still left on the fence, and I called down here to report that. And so did they go back and clean that up?
To my understanding, they had sprayed it and it just hadn't killed it yet. But I made a statement to them, they needed to send the contractor back out to finish up their job.
Clean it, do the job right.
okay. We're gonna move on. We do not have a executive session on tonight. We're gonna go to our council member reports and mayor reports. We're gonna start with Councilwoman Cooper.
Good evening. Let's see. First, I wanted to say congrats to the new officers of Lake City. I pray that you all stay safe in Lake City and make sure that you take care of our community. So I appreciate you guys. And again, congratulations. Also, to the young man that was talking about the kids in the safety. Safety is a big concern throughout Lake City, not just in Palm Circle in that neighborhood. So please, just because you're here, just make sure that you are mindful of the speed limit in certain areas, and especially where you see kids, because of course, like he said, the kids are the future. If you guys have any concerns about anything, if I can help, I'm always available. I think everybody has a contact on the city's webpage, and we also have cards where with our phone numbers and everything on it, so that you can contact us. I know sometimes the mayor may be busy, and everybody else that our department heads may have other things or other things to do, but that's why we are here. We're here to serve you guys. So if you have any questions or concerns about what's going on in your district, please contact us so that we can do our job. Also, I would like to let you guys know that this coming Friday is the Jamboree at Lake City High School. I ask that everybody go out and support the young men as they start off this football season, and also to keep Coach Baker in your prayers. And again, Savion, I think that you are doing a great job. I see your dedication, and you're very passionate about helping the youth. And so that's a great thing. If we had a whole bunch of Savons like that in Lake City, and just able to help, in different aspects to help the kids, that would be great. But you are very passionate in what you're doing, and I can see it. So continue the good work. And of course, like I always say, stay safe and stay vigilant.
Thank you all for coming out, and I ditto pretty much what Councilmember Cooper said. And this is food for thought. There's a saying that there's so much good in the worst of us and so much bad in the best of us that it ill behooves any of us to find fault in the rest of us. Please continue to come to the meetings, and thank you. Have a good rest of the evening.
Good evening again. I'd like to also echo to the new officers that on board, and welcome them to our community. And also for Tavon, what you're doing with the youth, I did not understand it, but you cleared it. The presentation was very good and made me want to learn how to play the game. I always watch my grandson and grandchildren, they play all night, all day when they're in school. But know that the good in it, I know during COVID, it kept the children off the street because they were playing these games. But then for you to explain it and explore it to our community, thank you for that. And also my area, of course, on Rim Road, I'm hearing it, that the complaint that my brother,
He left.
okay, well, he was talking about with the police officer, some type of contact need to be, because I know people just drive that I'm trying to think on Grim Road, the road was bad one time. Now they got the road fixed pretty good, so it's smooth sailing. And now with the children going to the park and walking, and you could be parked on the road, we need to have an officer to kind of roll by more often to let them notice, watch their speed. We're not gonna catch all of them. We're not gonna catch all of them, but they know sometimes they're there. And also, Sister Anderson and Minister Woodbury. I watch you on TV and stuff like that. Thank you for what you brought here tonight to explain for the health of the environment. We all can experience that. We know it's hotter than it ever been. It's colder sometimes than it ever been. So the environment is a place. When we first started hearing what the man named Grohl talking about the environment, about climate change, everybody's but now we are experiencing that, and like the COVID is out again. So I went to New Orleans last week, and some of my friends that went with me, they came back with COVID. So I'm just grateful that it didn't happen to me. So we still got to be mindful, wear masks, and be careful who you around. You don't know your neighbor, the person in front of you, especially on the plane, on the buses, and all that kind of stuff. You never know. So we all have to continue to be mindful and be concerned and be neighbor to respect each other. Thank you so much for everything, for everybody being here today.
Thank you all for coming out. Hope to see you guys next month. Sorry, my eye is really irritating me, so that's why I walked out, but I do apologize. But thank you all for coming out.
Nothing to report.
Okay. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, for attending our city council meeting, coming to speaking on your concerns and just to be aware of what's going on in the city of Lake City. I thank the council members for all that you do to make sure that your constituents in your district is aware of the progression of the city of Lake City. Everyone, please, it's been said, visit our website, lakecitysc.gov, to find out a wealth of information about what's going on, such as events as AgeCon, updates on job opportunities in the city, resources to help with utilities, rent, etc., and so much more. So utilize the website. It's a lot of information on there. And also we have a Facebook page. And also you can always come to our office and we can sit down and tell you anything that you would like to know. Thanks to Savon and Joey and Jonathan and Donna in her absence. The Public Information Office is really doing a fantastic job. We're really getting information out there for the city of Lake City, and I just applaud all of them. This is the month of August. School is back in progress. We pray a successful year for all our students and staff at all of our schools. We continue to ask for everyone to keep praying for Coach Baker and his family. As the prayers continue, the healing process continues. So keep the prayers coming. I want to thank all the city employees, staff, department heads for everything you do on a daily basis, and the citizens of Lake City. I thank you for just making this city a better city day by day. Note, we usually have resources spread along there, but thanks to our city clerk, Ms. Marsha, we have it all back there on the shelf back there. These are great resources. These are things that's happening in Lake City. These are things that's happening in the surrounding areas. And they're not just always the same. Look through them. There might be something that can help you or help your neighbor or help anyone else. They're always updating. So please go by the resource, stand back there and find something that may help you or your family members. Lastly but not least, I would like to announce that I, the mayor of Lake City, has been nominated and elected to the South Carolina Mayors Association Board of Directors for an unexpired term of 1 year. Also, I was selected to be a part of the Raleigh Mayor's Design Fellowship. These selections were very unexpected to me, but I'm very excited to be representing our city and my hometown in such an important positions. And these positions will be very beneficial to our city. And like I always say, at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about you individually. It's about what we can do together for the city of Lake City. So thank you all for coming out, and I just need a motion to adjourn.